Good afternoon, I'm Jeff. I'm a Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 4121 North Juneau Street here in Portland. We're located at the front of the home, just off to the left of the front doorway. I'm sorry, the right of the front doorway. We have a 3-inch ABS cleanout. They currently have a big cap over the top of it to cover this up. It's been damaged pretty badly. The best option here would basically just to take a saw and chop this off flush down to the concrete and then put an expanding cap in there, and then you don't have this gangly thing on top. It's not really, if you had to drain clean this thing, my camera can barely fit inside of here, so if you had to put an auger or something down or a jet, you may not be able to get it into the line without cutting this thing out anyway. So anyway, for right now, that cap system is doing the job, but I'd recommend getting that made up a little nicer there. It looks like it transitions immediately upon access to PVC pipe. We do have water running. Again, we're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Here we go. And it changes over to PVC so quickly here, I can't tell if it's transitioning to 4-inch or if it's remaining 3. Just can't see the transition. Alright, transitions here at about 31 feet out over to 6-inch concrete pipe. Looks like we have some standing water here in the line. We'll have a better look at how much water we've got hanging out once the pipe's all drained out. We turn the water off. And here about 47 feet we have reached the main lateral. I'm going to do locates to verify where the line terminates, and then again we're going to let it drain out completely. Okay, located the camera head successfully out the main lateral on North Juneau. The line should be pretty much all drained out at this point here. We are going to have some standing water, I think, at the very end of the line. Or at least this concrete section. And I'm going to locate, in Multnomah County, once you hit the street curb, the city takes over responsibility. So I'm going to locate at the transition, but like this spot here, this has got 1 inch of standing water in it. It goes right up just above the camera lens. So at around 3/4 to 1 inch of water is where I typically see debris build up. Anything less than that is totally homeowner controlled. You just don't put paper towels and crazy stuff down the line. So anyway, I'm going to locate right here at the transition to see where this is at. This is most likely where the responsibility changes from homeowner to city. Alrighty, so this is actually not right at the curb, unfortunately. This standing water and everything starts. Sorry, just a second here. No, we have water flowing. Thought that was standing water there for a second. Anyway, this transition point right here is right where the sidewalk starts. Now, generally, you could contact the city. Generally, I believe that Multnomah County takes over once you hit the curb. So this first 3 feet, basically the pipe that spans under the sidewalk, I do believe is homeowner responsibility. That's where the belly starts at. But then much of it is out into the street as well here. So it's one of those that you can't really correct part of the belly without the city's help in this matter, because much of it is in the road. So I would contact them, see if they're willing to do anything like a repair on it, and maybe split the cost. But again, once you hit 1 inch of standing water, that's where I typically see debris build up, and that's stuff like just toilet paper. Anything less than that, usually it's just if you're putting dumb stuff down the line, paper towels and a bunch of grease and stuff like that. So anyway, I do recommend it be corrected, but I would contact the city and talk to them about how to go about this. It's one of those where if the city's not willing to correct it, it becomes a repair that's a little silly to go forward with, because only about 3 feet of it would actually be homeowners if under the sidewalk is the homeowner's responsibility. So I would look into that and find out. It's not such a terrible belly that it can't be lived with. We have some debris hung up in here, but not major debris buildup. So as long as you're just putting folded toilet paper down the toilet and conservative amounts of food down the disposal, avoiding grease and fat and cooking oil, stuff like that, those items are going to get through there just fine. The stuff that I've mentioned about paper towels and tampons and things like that, those will get hung up here easily. And then you could, if you decide to try and live with the belly in the line, I would rescope the line in a year just to see what it looks like. That will give you an idea if it's causing any concerning amount of debris to build up and whether or not you may need to jet it on some kind of regular basis. It appears that someone else has mapped out this same section of pipe. So I'm seeing paint markings starting and stopping exactly the dimensions of the belly here. Anyway, here it looks like the belly dissipates out at about 43 feet. But immediately upon getting into the belly, you've got an inch of standing water throughout. So it's one of those I do recommend repairing. But again, we don't have 3 or 4 inches of water in here. When you get that amount of water, that's where you should be expecting backups on a regular basis. At this amount here, if you're being careful and mindful of what's going down the line, you can usually, these will function fairly well. But you can see the amount of junk that's kind of collected in it. And sometimes, like I said, once you hit about an inch of water, that's where just about anything will build up in it. So I would recommend rescoping it on some kind of maybe yearly basis to keep an eye on it. Alright, I've just gone over the other marking just to make them look newer. The other ones are pretty faded. The depths that I'm getting there are a bit different. I'm getting almost 10 feet deep at either end of the belly. I'm getting around 9'6". The locates that are on the ground currently are saying about 8 feet at the sidewalk and about 7'8" in the street. Now, I would recommend contacting the city for locates in that situation just to get it a third set on there, because there's about a foot or so difference between the locates in depth. Now it looks like we have water running down the line here from something. So anyway, I would also contact them and find out if responsibility changes hands here at 31 feet, or if it's changing hands at about 33, 34 feet once you hit the curb, because this starts exactly where the sidewalk starts at and then extends out into the street. So anyway, that's why I recommend getting a hold of them. You can't really fix one part of the belly without the other being corrected. I'm just about to reel the camera out of the line. I'm going to try and reverse direction and scope back into the crawl space. Aside from the belly on the exterior of the line here, the rest of the line was in good shape. The line is currently functioning at this time, but being hindered by the belly, so I do recommend it be repaired. I also recommend contacting the city about how they would look at this responsibility-wise. Is 10 feet of the belly is in the street and about 3 feet of it's under the sidewalk. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and reel the camera out of the line. All the pipe inside the crawl space here is draining properly and is in good condition. I do recommend a rescope after any repair work's done to ensure it was done properly.